Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, something as big as went on. It's going to be all over the place in this one. You guys try to follow me. Now, you got this big fight coming up between, it's not really a big fight, MMA meets boxing. Mayweather, right, Jr. versus your boy Conor McGregor, right, which I really didn't care about. I thought the fight was pitiful at the beginning because I thought the people should, Floyd has to take things like this because no one in the welterweight division crystallized themselves as someone worthy of fighting him to make those figures he's trying to make. So he's going to have to go with McGregor. Cool. Okay, but the fight is happening. Matter of fact, in 2 weeks. We'll talk more about that, right? So things have been going on the build-up. The build-up was real good. People have been going back and forth. A couple of racist remarks were said. A homophobic remark was said. You know, they building it up because you better. Them tickets are so high, y'all better do something, right? And, you know, then you had your boy Paulie Malignaggi, who was a good fighter, two-time world champion, division world champion. One of the great commentators we got right now, or analysts, excuse me. Paulie Malignaggi, when he talks, you should listen when he's talking boxing. All right, and he's went to the training camp of your boy Conor McGregor, and some things leaked out with Malignaggi on the ground, you know, and they made it look like he was knocked down, and the power is there from McGregor, and comes to find out he's supposed to have been pushed. So it's a lot of back and forth. I just think it's just things, you know, a little hope lot. When you talking about making people pay $1,500 or more for a seat, it better be something going on before the fight too, right? So I just think that's all has something to do with the build-up. No problem, right? But your boy, you know, some people's pound for pound best fighter right now, Lomachenko, you know, 130 pounder right now, has offered his services to your boy Conor McGregor. Like, hey, you don't, you know, let old boy come, Paulie Malignaggi. Well, let me come. I'll do you up in sparring, right? So he offered his service. Now, Conor McGregor has answered. He said, first of all, the dude is a southpaw, 130 pounds, right? They're about to fight at 154 pounds. He said, so it really doesn't really matter. But what he said was more significant. He said, well, Lomachenko, you need to worry about Rigondeaux. Guillermo, Tasmanian Devil, Taz, Rigondeaux. That's who you should be worried about, right? And I cannot agree more, right? I cannot agree more. That's who he should be worried about, Taz, right? Because Taz got everybody in those divisions running and not getting any fights. And it's the big story right now for me personally in boxing since the racist emails from Golden Boy and Ring Magazine that nobody addressed that is still silent about. Those are things I listen to. I listen to the silence about things that should have been bigger stories, right? And they weren't. And just watch people reactions to sweep under the rug thing. Now, if you're going to place Lomachenko at one-on-one, pound for pound, Teddy Atlas and others, and you know Joe Rogan saying he could be the greatest of all time after 9 or 10 fights, then what you do, you have to hold him to a higher standard. It's just that simple. It's not hate or anything like that. Bob Arum just said the other day he's bet the best thing since Muhammad Ali. And then, you know, some of the bigger channels, which I'm glad they did, you showed videos of him saying the exact same thing about Floyd Mayweather. But Bob Arum has the promotion hat on. He's going to say these things about people he promotes. When you see him saying these things about people he doesn't promote, then your antenna goes up. This is just normal for Bob Arum, so it's not a big thing. But at the end of the day, if we're going to have my man Lomachenko up there, then we're going to have him fight people of substance. It's just that simple. It happens to all of them that are up there in that top 5 pound for pound. You know, you just start, hey, well, what's up? You're going to have to fight someone and prove it. All right? So that's the issue there. Let's see how Lomachenko is going to react to that. I just think it's very significant because Conor McGregor is an MMA fighter, right? And Guillermo Rigondeaux is someone who they try to ignore, you know, openly. You know, no one says his name. And matter of fact, I was going to do an extra video about it, but now no, this one will be longer. We'll just make sure we talk about Guillermo Rigondeaux for a minute, right? All of the fighters in or around his division, right? We should be to a point now where we say, we're not really interviewing you or covering your fights or something. If you're fans of anyone in or around his division, meaning from 118 to about 130. Everybody can get there. From 118 to 130, if they're talking about fighting each other and all that, I think we shouldn't even be interested. We should make your favorite fighter, whichever one it is in those smaller weight divisions, you should make him say the name Guillermo Rigondeaux. You should make him say that name, want to fight him, or at least act like you want to fight him. Because if you don't, you're going to get a guy that, it tripped me out because I forgot this, that's 37 years old. You have a guy that's 37 years old and smaller than everybody. Have you ever seen a Guillermo Rigondeaux highlight when he's bigger than somebody? It's ridiculous. I'm repeating myself. I am. But it doesn't matter. There's not a lot of people on this channel. It's the first time you probably checking, brother. It is what it is. This is the most ridiculous thing in boxing right now. Right? It's the most ridiculous thing in boxing right now. And so it has to be addressed now. This is an injustice. And all the fighters you probably haven't heard this guy's name because no fighter around him. And the names I've said in videos that I'm probably putting the information again because this is turned into a Guillermo Rigondeaux channel. That's how unjust this is. It is time to force these guys to at least say the name and want to fight him. All right? Like I said, he won't be bigger than anyone we're talking about. He's smaller than everyone we're talking about, including Lomachenko. Him saying from 118, 122 to 130 to fight Lomachenko is ridiculous anyway. My opinion is Lomachenko should come back down to 126 and they meet halfway. But he's not even trying to ask him to do that anymore. Right? So, and the guy that won't fight him is above him in the pound for pound list. And nothing to the pound for pound list. Everybody, make your own. Right? These pound for pound lists coming from HBO, ESPN, Ring Magazine, they're all affiliated. It's gonna be, it's gonna be agenda based. Who cares? Make your own. If you're Showtime, make your own. If you're a big boxing channel with all these subscribers and whatever you got, make your own. All of the communities and YouTube and whatever, LDBC and all that going down, make your own. We don't have to listen to them. That's because it's ridiculous. There's no reason to go back and forth. The people who are promoting these fighters will put their fighters on the pound for pound list. It's that simple, right? So it's basically agenda based. We can't even go with it anymore because it's so outlandish right now that it makes no sense to even talk about those pound for pound lists, right? We know who's supposed to be number 1, number 2, and number 3. You kind of know that if you watch boxing, the landscape. You know what it should be, and it won't be, and it's never going to be. People are not going to change. Like I told you before, Burger King is not going to do commercials about how good McDonald's burgers are. That's just not going to happen. You know from what the things they're doing and trying to do. There are certain boxers in the industry, like Terrence Crawford and Julius Ndongo, for that fight to happen, they want to find out who's the best in that division. That's why this fight's happening. And there's a few others that are trying to do that. But others won't try to do that because the fans don't ask them to. And they don't need to. They need to do a little something, show up, and that's good enough for us to run with these superlatives. And it keeps happening over and over. And what's going on to this 37-year-old little guy that no one's fighting from 118 to 130, you've never heard his name in a call-out. Ever. Just ever. And go look at his highlights and find somebody smaller than him he's fighting. It is ridiculous. And I don't know why you people don't like that, but this is time now to make sure people know this guy, right? Make sure they know this guy. In this video, didn't it start about Conor McGregor saying that he should fight Rigondeaux, and then it turned into a Rigondeaux video? They probably all are, if I'm talking about boxing, in the next months, until this guy gets the recognition that he deserves, or donations, or something. Like I told you before, it should be an openly dubbed fee going to the fighter that's being openly avoided. Right? If 2 fighters leave a division and go fight somewhere for a lucrative fight, 10% of that should go to this man's pocket because why? He's the best. And the best are not being rewarded. What the best are doing, they're being banned and blackballed. Literally in some cases. Film Sports Talk, worldwide, and I'm up out of here, y'all.